Well, we get to listen to the neighbor doing whatever it is he's doing. He's been at it for hours and it's still blowing up. But anyway, I've got the muffler temporarily installed. What else? I've got the throttle and the brake installed where it's going to go. There's no fluid in it yet, but got the little brake line bracket screwed back down there. And then I've got the caliper thing on there. I need to tighten those bolts, but you know, details. Let's see, what else? Oh, got the carburetor reinstalled. Looks like temporarily again because the float bowl is still leaking. I've got the air cleaner on because I really thought that I wasn't going to have to mess with the carburetor anymore. Oh well. Let's see, I got a few necessary connections wired up to get it started. This time I've got that that vacuum line plugged off. I got my little pretend gas tank hooked up. And I found the bolt that holds this shut, so I don't have to worry about the battery falling out, which I think the battery needs to be charged again. I think it's dead. But and I shortened that little screw that holds the neutral light wire on. So yay. So anyway, let's say we give it a kick and see if it starts any easier this time. Okay, well, let's see. Hopefully that's seeable. Okay. Run. On. It's not off, I just had it unplugged for a bit. Or not, it's not dead. The battery's not dead, I just had it unplugged. Okay. So, it's already at the white spot on the thing, and I want to do the brake, but there is no brake still. Okay, let's give this a try, huh? Cool. That's a heck of a lot better than last time. Yeah. There's oil on the exhaust line, so that's burning off. And it's in neutral, it's just spinning anyway, I guess. Cool, let's try it again. Oh, give it some more gas. Man, this thing goes through gas quite a lot, doesn't it? Maybe it wouldn't go through so much if it wasn't dripping out the carburetor, huh? Yeah, that was with no starter fluid or anything. The carburetor is now leaking like a sieve. So whatever's going on, it isn't working right. It was working right, like just that is frustrating. Oh well. Started for a little bit. Okay. Well, I'll try something else. Well, managed to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory there. Never was able to get the engine running again. But here's what I'm thinking. I took the spark plug out, and it looked like it was fuel fouled, coupled with the fact that this thing was leaking like a son of a gun. So what I'm thinking is either the float bowl isn't working right, or either the float's not working right, or the float needle is not working right. So I'm going to go ahead and open this guy back up and see if we can see anything obvious. Yeah, all those little lines that push up into the gasket to make sure that it's working. Those are all there. Huh. So one thought I had is, I wonder if that old float needle and seat are just worn out. Because if you remember, while I was trying to adjust it, I noticed that this little spring-loaded guy, I don't know, the weight of the float is actually enough to push that down. Another possibility is that I've got the float setting all wrong. This is very similar to the stock carburetor, but there are a couple of subtle differences, that like the fact that you have to have an oblong piece right there. Is this even in frame? Let's see. I still have not seen a gasket like this. I've only seen them like this, so I don't I don't know why they made this one different. That's actually kind of irritating. That's too big. But I wonder if I could adapt the new valve and valve seat. Yeah, see, that spring is way stiffer than this one. I wonder if that might have something to do with it. So let's try replacing the old needle and needle seat with a new one. Oh. So, here we go. So this is labeled 2.8, this is labeled 2.8. So hopefully that'll work okay. The difference though is this guy has a little clip that hangs on the float, right? And this guy doesn't. He has a little clip that prevents the float from, or the needle from running off, but it doesn't connect to the float. So, Alright, put our little keeper back on there. Oh wow. The weight of the float doesn't do anything to that little spring-loaded guy. That's encouraging. The other one, yeah, I think this one may just, the little spring may just be worn out. Without any adjustments, the float is still just about right. I'm going to look at this for any cracks or gouges. Not much left to this brass wheel, but I don't need much. Okay, so I got this all cleaned up with a wire wheel, just to make sure there's no weird deposits or something sitting around in there. The other thing I did is I decided to go ahead and put just a tiny, very, very thin layer of Honda Bond on this flat surface. I'm hoping that this surface here with that makes the indentations here will be fine on this side, and that any leakage would be happening on this flat side. And the other thing is that I put it on really, really thin. The idea is it shouldn't be doing the job of the gasket. It should be filling in any tiny little imperfections in the metal where the gasoline might be leaking out. So, and also, yeah, I'm only putting it on one side because I do want to be able to get the float bowl off in the future, in case, you know, there's still more stuff to be done. Alright, here's what I got. Carburetor in a cup with the funnel attached here. Got a clamp this time so it doesn't pop off. And just in case I knock it over, it's in my pan here. So let's see what happens when I fill it up. Aha! First issue. The hose is not sticking right. I need another clamp. There we go. That should solve that problem temporarily. Where's it all going? That float bowl holds quite a lot, huh? Oh, there we go. Okay, it looks like the float bowl has finally sealed there. Okay. Maybe we fixed it. Wouldn't that be nice? Come back tomorrow and see what's going on. Okay. Well, I found the problem, I think, or a problem. Check this guy out. This is the Woodruff key that keeps the magnetic wheel from turning independently of the crankshaft, I believe it's called. And as you can see, it is completely worn out, rounded off even. This sat pretty much flush with the crankshaft, and this guy was just going right over it. So this guy was just sitting wherever the heck he wanted. So no wonder I was getting really good spark, but it wasn't happening at the time that the engine needed it. I'm sad that I have to order yet another specialty part to get the motor to go, but I'm glad I found it, because that's the sort of thing that could drive a person nuts. Incidentally, when I took this cover plate off, I went to see if I could spin the whole thing with just twisting the nut, and the nut came right off. It was loose, finger tight. And oh, look at that, it's slightly magnetic. And then when I took that off, this came right off. Now you're supposed to have like a special tool, a puller tool to pull this off, right? You're not supposed to be able to just pull it off. Well, yeah, this thing pulled right off. So that's what I've got going on there. Now the magnets all seem to be good. That one's good, that one's good, that one's good, that one's good, you know, all the way around. Happy magnets. Yeah, a couple of them are a little scored. Not sure why. But that's it. And of course, while I'm waiting on that on a new Woodruff key, guess who's going to get cleaned up and painted. I'll clear coat it, but might as well. I got the other piece floating around here somewhere, the chain cover. So as far as I know, if I understand it right anyway, the CDI is supposed to control exactly when it fires, and you're not supposed to have to change this. But there are 4 bolts holding the windings on, the coils, that can be loosened, and I believe it can be moved one way or the other. So the timing could be adjusted if it needed to be. But you know what? Before this thing, before it conked out, that motor was running pretty smooth. So I'm hopeful that once I get the Woodruff key replaced, it will run smoothly again, and I can start doing things like adjusting the carburetor and making it run even better. I will come back when, I don't know, when I've had some more progress. In the meantime, I hope you found this interesting, and thanks for watching.